Well, what a strange and at times hilarious day it was in federal parliament today. We had more poison circulating within the National Party, with whispers of a breakaway division from both the Nats and the Libs, which would be called the LMP as it is in Queensland. And the news last night about a breakaway faction of right-wing Labor MPs who were sick of the party's stance on green and climate-based policies. And with that came a Keystone TV news report which saw members of this so-called Otis group gathering at Canberra's Otis restaurant for a secret meeting of the minds. It was just that the secrecy looked rather staged, and that led to riotous scenes, which I'll get to very shortly. But first, I'm joined now by the former Natural Resources Minister, now a mere MP, thanks to his backing of the key rebel himself, Barnaby Joyce. Senator Matt Canavan, thank you very much for your time.
Hey Chris, how are you?
I'm very well. What's it like to be up the back of the bus?
Oh, look, it's still a great honour, Chris. I'm a senator for Queensland. I think I'm the 51st national senator in this place, the 10th LNP senator, and it's a great honour. So Queensland's such a great state, there's a lot to do, and I'm getting on with that. I am a bit disappointed that I haven't been invited to the secret pro-coal group in the Labor Party. I mean, what more do I have to do to get an application? I've been a pretty strong advocate for the industry over the years, but maybe my application got lost in the mail.
It would seem to me that this is a splitter group being run by Joel Fitzgibbon, because he sent out his minions to do all the talking on that report on Channel 10 last night, and they spoke forever.
I love the vision of Don Farrell, who's been around. He's done a few radios. It's not his first radio last night, and he turned up there at the Otis group, and he had this sort of faux surprise face. Oh, Peter Van Onselen, how fancy meeting you here. It was like, this is your life, It was probably the fourth take that they had of that. And then his lines were pitch perfect about how he was going to defend coal jobs, etc., etc. So, this was obviously a hit from a group of Labor MPs on Anthony Albanese and a shot across Anthony's bow. I mean, earlier this week, Anthony Albanese claimed that coal-fired power stations are like unicorns, and Japan's building 22 of these unicorns, China more than 100, India about 60 unicorns. I think this group should rename themselves from the Otis group to the Unicorns, because again, Anthony Albanese, they're only imaginary in Anthony Albanese's mind.
Yes, very good line. Talking about a shot across the bow, this talk about a possible LMP breakaway, so members of the Liberal Party federally and members of the probably Queensland MPs, to form this LMP as opposed to National Party and Liberal Party, it's just a shot across the bow. You're not serious, are you?
No, well, I won't. Well, I've said I don't support it.
Well, you said today you wouldn't rule it out.
Well, look, because I'm trying to be honest with people, okay? And I mean, I can't tell what will happen in 10 or 20 years' time. I am an LNP senator.
Yeah.
In Queensland. We don't have a Liberal or National Party. We just have the LNP. Yeah. And so obviously I'm here representing the LNP, and as a senator, I greatly respect the LNP. So I can't speak for the LNP in 10 or 20 or whatever years' time. Yeah. So I'm not going to.
But would you rather be connected to the LNP as opposed to just the National Party?
No, I would not, because as I said today as well, I think there's never been more important time for the Nationals Party to exist here in Canberra. It's very different in Queensland. In Queensland, we have a decentralised state. We have large regional populations away from the capital city, like Townsville, Cairns, or Campton, where I live, lots of places. And so we got a good regional voice.
So when is Barnaby Joyce going again? When can a vote be formed again against Michael McCormick? Is that on the cards?
I don't believe it is, Chris. The Nationals Party doesn't really work like that, and that was the last week or last fortnight's been a traumatic time for us. It's been a rough time. We hadn't had a spill in our party room for 30 years, over 30 years. It's not something we do regularly, and the reason it won't happen soon is because it won't be welcomed by Nationals members. And so
but Barnaby Joyce is fairly revved up. He's fairly revved up. I doubt whether he's going to drift off into the shadows very quietly. That's not his thing, is it?
Well, no, yeah, of course. I don't think Barnaby's going to hide his light under a bushel. He's a prominent and proactive member of Parliament, and I'm the same. Yes, I've resigned from the ministry, but I've still got a job to do, and I'll do my best to further and progress the interests of my constituents. I love this place because it is a battle of ideas. I'm never afraid of having that battle or having that fight. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I'll just forcefully put my views, as Barnaby does, as others do in the Nationals Party. It's one thing that makes the National Party great, because we have a healthy disrespect for authority, and we therefore don't mind going to bat for our constituents, even if it does sometimes cause a bit of heartache or frustration with people down here. My priority is the people of Queensland.
OK, what about Keith Pitt? He's the successor in your portfolio, the natural resources portfolio. I've heard a lot of pro-coal statements out of his mouth, both in and out of Parliament. That's got to be reassuring for you. Yeah,
look, Keith and I if I can take some liberties, I think Keith and I have very similar views on these issues. I think there'll be great continuity in the resource minister's space. I gave it my best shot for about 4 years. I hope it made a bit of a difference, but it's probably not a bad time for a fresh new person to come in. Keith will bring his own approach to it, but there'll be great continuity, I think, on the substance and perspectives on the industry. As you say, Keith's a strong supporter of the coal industry, a strong supporter of the development of our resources for the benefit of our nation. And he joins a great club. We've been very lucky in this country, I think, to have... Well, I'll just excuse myself from this description, but I think, apart from myself, we've had excellent resources ministers in recent times from both sides of politics, people like Martin Ferguson, Gary Gray, Ian McFarlane from my side, and Keith's joining that club, and I think he'll be a great member of that club.
I think you should include yourself. But one last question.
Well, others decide that.
No. I think you should. One last question. Do you want to get back into Cabinet?
Oh, look, I'm really focused on this job now. So right now, the short answer is no. I'm excited about getting on with the job as a senator for Queensland. I am, a little bit liberated, I suppose, from cabinet discipline, so I can more forcefully put my views on issues, including on a wider range of issues.
So does that mean we can call you a rebel now?
No, I don't. I don't intend to be that. What I intend to be is forcefully representing the interests, particularly of Central and North Queensland, where I'm based. I think I've tried to do that. But for example, I'm a strong advocate for the coal industry, but I also want to see our sugar industry grow and prosper. I also want to make sure our banana industry is protected from imports that could have diseases from overseas. I want to make sure we can expand our cattle industry by expanding dams and wheat production, what have you. And so this gives me a chance to reconnect with some of those great sectors of the Queensland economy and society, and do a job for them too. All right, I'll let you get back to the post-parliamentary sitting huddle, and thank you very much for your time this evening. Thanks, Chris. Have a good day. Yep, good to have you on. Senator Matt Canavan.